In the famous opening passage of his spiritual autobiography, The Confessions, St. Augustine says these famous words: "O Lord, you made us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in thee." C.S. Lewis was very much influenced by St. Augustine and very much influenced by the idea that we are all born with an inbuilt yearning and desire for God and for heaven. In fact, Lewis would argue that ultimately our desire for God and our desire for heaven is the same desire, because what heaven means in the Bible is to be in the presence of God for eternity. In fact, Lewis saw the existence of this desire for heaven as one of the great arguments for the existence of God and the supernatural world. Because if heaven and God and the supernatural did not exist, then what is the origin of that desire? If all there is nature, then where could we have gotten that desire for something beyond or outside of nature? So we have this desire, and if we truly follow it, it will lead us, Lewis believed, to God. Unfortunately, we too often get sidetracked and follow a false lure. But if we stay true to the real desire God put in our heart and follow it, we will get to God. Now, Lewis often took umbrage with many modern people, Americans and Europeans alike, who had this puritanical notion that the problem with our desires is that they're too strong for heaven. They have this idea that to be a Christian means to mortify our desires and to kill them. No, Lewis says, the problem with our desires is not that they're too strong for heaven. The problem with our desires is they're too weak for the thundering reality and passion and truth of heaven. In a sermon Lewis wrote called The Weight of Glory, he says this: "We are such poor, half-hearted creatures, messing about with drink and sex and ambition when infinite joy is offered us. We are like an ignorant child who would prefer to go on making mud pies in a slum because he cannot possibly imagine what is meant by the offer of a holiday at the sea. We are far too easily pleased. God is greater than our desire, not weaker than our desire. Follow that true desire and let it lead you to the one who put it in you in the first place."